That's one of the coolest things that's ever been on this channel. That is exactly the type of music that this, I think, is.
Yeah, it works really well.
Wow.
Gothic cathedral.
Man. Hey, everybody. We're here at the University of Chicago at the Carillon. I'm here with Joey Brink. Joey, thank you so much for letting us be here. What is this?
This is the Carillon at Rockefeller Chapel at the University of Chicago. This is the second biggest Carillon in the world out of about 600. We've got a massive instrument here with 72 bells, 100 tons of bronze. As you know from climbing up the tower just now, it's pretty fun to explore these towers. And so, do you guys want me to give you like a tour as we go up? Chapel's 1928, Rockefeller Chapel, given by Rockefeller Sr.
It's the Rockefeller we're familiar with.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's that Rockefeller.
It's not some other guy.
No. Bells in the tower came 4 years after the building was finished in 1932. So we're going to climb a spiral staircase just behind the organ pipes here and enter the attic of the chapel and walk on a catwalk above the ceiling.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. You have to watch your heads, otherwise you'll hit your head.
Oh man, I'm having a flashback.
Yeah.
From the pipe organ, because we did the pipe organ recently.
I saw it.
And I told you we learned about this place from comments in the pipe organ. So thanks for that, whoever mentioned this. They're like, that's not the only gigantic instrument in Chicago.
Sweet.
I love it. It was a key fob, too.
Oh, yeah. There are 271 steps in total.
We made sure to bring water, too.
Yeah.
I'm already sweaty. Oh, my God.
Rest it here. Yeah, I'll catch your breath. What percentage of the way would you say we are? Less than half.
Oh, that hurts. What are we looking at here? What is
This is the ceiling of the chapel. It's made of tile and cement and a few bricks. It's original, 1928.
This way to the top.
Yeah.
Watch your heads, everybody. This is so cool.
Yeah.
So this is your commute to work?
Yeah. That's how I get to my office.
What are we looking at?
Yeah. This is the mechanical room of the tower, where we have a couple of mechanisms that can play the bells automatically. And every hour, it triggers from a computer, and then the compressed air gives the power to pull these rods that play the bell.
And this is just attached to a computer somewhere, and it's just sending you MIDI information to play every hour?
Not even MIDI, it's just sending electrical signals to these valves here.
Like it always plays the same thing every hour, and these are the notes that are in that song, so you just have those here to be automatic?
Yeah, exactly. So we play the Westminster chime before every hour strike. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
It's only 4 notes, actually.
Okay.
Well, this can play 9. So we're not using the full capability.
Oh, so there's some of these that are set up here they just
we don't
never use.
Yeah, this is not something I normally do, but this is live electronics. So if I touch it, I'm going to get shocked.
Okay.
That's why I have this box. Insulating material. All right, so I can play a bell by doing this. Yeah.
Wait. Which one are you going to touch?
I'll touch this one again. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that is connected to that guy, and somewhere way up there is a gigantic bell.
Yeah. This is the original clock.
Oh.
So this is what controlled the hour chime when it was installed in 1932. This is like a music box, this wheel right here. So
wow,
the whole time designates the programming for the chime.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so you can see the holes there, they're not lined up. They're arranged in a musical notation, basically.
Yeah, it's just like a really big music box.
Yeah, totally.
And if you want to change the song, you got to get a new big, huge wheel.
Yeah, it's a clock with no clock face.
Yeah.
Which is actually how clocks were originally conceived. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This metal cage is a motor that controls the biggest bell. And when this spins, this pulls a rope, and this rope goes up through the ceiling to strike the biggest bell on the hour. As that spins a full rotation, it releases this lever right here. And that lever then sends the rope up, and there's a clapper that falls to strike the bell. You can play the biggest bells automatically or manually.
Okay.
What is the biggest bell called? And do you use that musically, or is this
we use it musically. Yeah. We call the bell Big Laura.
Big Laura?
Has Laura Spelman Rockefeller's name on it. And we'll see her in a minute. She's right above us, actually.
How heavy is Big Laura?
18 and a half tons.
18 and a half tons.
So 37,000 pounds. She's the 3rd biggest tuned bell in the world. There's only 2 bigger tuned bells. Yeah.
Wow.
One's in New York, one's in London.
In Carillon?
What's that?
Are they in Carillon?
One is. The one in New York is the biggest Carillon in the world, and we're at the second biggest Carillon in the world.
Is only Big Laura named, or do you have names for all 72?
No. Is there a whole family?
We have one other bell that's colloquially named Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Because it's roughly the same size as the biggest bell at Big Ben.
Okay.
That's the second biggest bell. And that bell weighs 13 tons.
What do Ben and Laura play when they play together?
So
are they friends? Like, what chord is it?
They play a major second when you put them together. You normally don't play them together.
So they're not friends.
Not really.
They get to, Laura and Ben are not. They don't work well together.
Overtones on lower bells. You don't usually want to play two low bells right next to each other at the same time.
Of course.
They just overtones just.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Oh, that.
It's so big it's hard to find.
I thought it was just some piece of machinery.
It is, but it's a massive piece of machinery.
Yeah, I can see Laura Spellman Rockefeller.
Yeah, cast in 1931 in England, brought over on a boat, hauled up the side of the tower on a crane, and brought in through the side of the tower here. They had to take out one of these walls to bring the bells into place. Big Laura right in front of us can be played in three ways. There's the motor that we saw downstairs, and that when the motor plays, it's moving this hammer on the right side there. That big wheel strikes and falls on the bell from the side. There's another one of those hammers on the left here. Looks identical. And that has a wire attached to it going up, and another wire going over and then up higher in the tower. And that is attached to the keyboard, so I can play the bell manually.
Yeah.
And there's a third clapper in the middle of the bell.
Oh, yeah.
That hangs underneath. And that clapper strikes the bell when it swings. You can see the bell mounted on these big wheels. These wheels are attached to motors that cause the bell to swing back and forth, and then the clapper swings freely with gravity and strikes the bell.
How loud is this?
Incredibly loud. When we play the bells on the side, you could be standing here without ear protection and you'd be okay.
Really?
When the bells are swinging, you need ear protection.
Yeah, this would be a death sentence for your ears if you were standing here while this was being played.
Of the 72 bells, only 5 can swing in the swinging peal. 9 are automatic and 72 are manual.
How many bells are here? And these are the largest
These
bells.
are the largest bells, yeah. So there's 14 bells altogether right here. And there's another 58 bells that are still higher up.
What's the range of the instrument?
This plays a C sharp, a low C sharp. So
And
2
that's
C sharps below middle
one,
C.
C sharp 2. Oh, two below.
And then the highest note is also C sharp, and it's 6 octaves in total instrument.
We don't have our...
Yeah, I didn't realize we were doing the full tour.
Yeah, we should have brought the lights. Wow. This is Big Ben?
This is Big Ben, yeah. This is our second biggest bell at 13 tons. And this clapper right here is the Carillon clapper. So this is how we play the bell manually. It doesn't swing this way. It won't,
Good,
it won't
I'm glad.
Normally I don't play it like this, but I can play it right now as a demonstration. You can touch the bell and feel it vibrate. And if you run your fingers on the inside edge here, you actually can feel the ridges. Yeah. That's how they tune the bell. They shave metal off the inside to tune the pitch. So for the biggest bell, they shaved off 3,000 pounds of metal just to tune it. And bells are tuned when they're made, so this bell's never been retuned.
Retuning this, would just be impossible, right?
It's impossible until you take it out of the tower and then put it on a lathe, which happens, but never,
Really?
not to this bell.
What causes it to get out of tune?
Repeated striking. Every time we strike it, a little bit of metal comes off. You can see some markings where the strike point is. There's a former strike point over here, so you can see where that bell is struck. Yeah.
So you just rotate the bell?
You can rotate bells or rotate the clapper strike point. There are 2 places on the bell where you prefer to strike the bell. There's 2 nodes or anti-nodes where you'd like to strike the bell. You're replacing clappers rather than rotating the bell because you want to strike the bell at the point where it's going to resonate the best.
Yeah, could I
Push
play
it? Yeah, totally.
Most intense D sharp of my life.
Well, this is a D sharp.
This is, okay, it's the most intense D sharp of my life. Weezer tuning. Slayer tuning. D sharp standard. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's really heavy.
There's the mechanized thing.
Yeah.
So do any of these chime on the hour?
Yeah.
So no one's gonna believe it. So I guess it's
no
1
one
o'clock.
is gonna believe it.
You want to see? Good timing. This thing is so fucking long. Is this
that
bigger
big?
than the pipe organ?
It depends on how you define it.
Yeah, right?
Right. Heavier?
Yeah.
Yeah. But not as many notes.
This tower's not as big as that church.
Right. But the
But-
tower's pretty big, so who knows?
Is there like a competition?
This one's taller though.
Yeah, it's taller. There you go. So we're the biggest instrument.
Yeah. Being in here while it's playing is incredible.
It's a little frightening, honestly.
It's very frightening.
It's very frightening when it catches you by surprise like that.
Yeah, because this one's just right next to my head.
These louvers, these windows actually direct the sound down.
Oh, okay.
So they're
I'm
designed
feeling
to bring the sound down.
scared. You can kind of see the whole room. This is amazing.
It surely is, man.
If I just like mess up my footing a little bit, like that's a long way down. It'd be a musical fall down, depending on what bells are directly underneath me. This is the scariest I've ever been learning about an instrument. You got like a little apartment over here.
Yeah, this is my house.
Your little house in the sky.
That's right.
Whoa, this is nice.
Yeah, right?
This is really nice.
Oh, there's air in here,
You
man.
got a whole studio up here.
That's right. Recording studio.
You got a gift shop? You got a gift shop up here.
That's right. You want some merch?
This is maybe the coolest studio I've been in.
This is the playing cabin, is what we call it. I like to call it my office. Yeah, this is the keyboard.
How high up are we? Like, how many stories?
I don't know how to measure in stories. The tower is 207 feet high, and we're almost at the top, so
Yeah.
probably 175 feet up.
I love how immediately around this little building, too, it does look like you would expect at the top of a church.
Yeah.
And then you have this. You have this.
Yeah.
And you have. Oh, what?
We gotta get all set up. We gotta get
Sounds
relit.
good.
Can I just hit one before?
Up to you.
Is this the C sharp of my
Yeah,
dreams?
the lowest pedal. On the keyboard, it's actually an F,
So everything's moved over a step?
a major third.
Wow.
Yeah. Every Carillon transposes differently. Bigger bells are more impressive. So Rockefeller wanted big bells. So we've got a low C sharp.
Well,
But-
they did it. I mean,
None of the repertoire that's written for Carillon includes a low C sharp because that bell is out of the range of normal Carillons. And so rather than put an actual C sharp on the keyboard that nobody would play, they instead made it an F.
so
Which is part of
everything
the
is
repertoire.
played tuned down.
Yep, on this Carillon.
That's really metal. that this whole thing is down tuned. So this is the biggest one.
Yep. Hit it hard.
Okay,
Yes,
hard?
Yeah,
You sure?
really hard. Yeah.
What if I hit it so hard that it breaks? And
Actually, that can't happen. Don't do this. that could break it.
because this is like,
Put your phone on
if
it,
I do
and then-
this is like $1 billion in damage.
Yeah, right. Put your foot on it and then accelerate really fast. There you go.
Oh, you really got to hit it.
Yeah.
I barely hit it at all. Okay,
You had a good
another-
strike. That was good.
Oh, it did? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Whoa.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, I'm doing it again. And the whole neighborhood is hearing this.
Yeah, right. Everybody outside can hear
And
that.
great, Rob. Now everyone thinks it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. No, but that's like, it's real. How far can you hear this?
I've heard the hour strike as far as 1.5 miles away. The swinging bell's 2 miles.
So I really did just tell people an hour away that it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, well now it's 4. All Chicago businesses are out. Yeah, this is like the worst possible stage fright ever.
But at the same
It's
time,
like-
you're anonymous. Nobody knows it's you.
Yeah.
So it's the most
Yeah,
public,
yeah.
yet anonymous instrument.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We're going to go up to see the bells up there. That's almost as cool as what we just did downstairs, but different.
Is there anything I should be worried about as far as falling to my death anywhere?
Well, not yet, but we're going to climb a ladder.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Take the camera from you.
Yeah. So it's debate on whether or not this is the largest instrument on the channel. But
We can open up that
the
debate.
most dangerous for sure. But now we're on the roof.
Roof of that house.
So this is most of the instrument right here.
Yeah. This is
Most of the
58
bells, most of the notes are right.
58 bells, yeah.
Is that the smallest one?
On the left there. See it
Oh,
over there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Could you put it on your feet to show what we're standing on?
Oh, yeah, we're just standing on the scaffolding.
As the year 1929.
So the bells were cast between 1929 and 1931, and then installed in the tower in 1932. The clapper is designed to be a softer material than the bell, so the clapper will wear out
Instead
faster
of the
than
bell.
the bell.
And then
Yeah.
you can replace those instead of replacing
Exactly.
the whole bell.
You just
as we
rotate
talked
the
about.
clapper, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is how many steps we've gone up.
Exactly. So many stories were up. Music that I play and that we play as Carilloners is for the whole neighborhood and for the whole community.
We're hiring you for the best job of the day, which is just to go somewhere and sit silently in a field with a microphone.
It's not too hard. I think I can do it, you know.
It's like when you mic a drum set and you have to like mic the room, right?
Yeah.
And this is like the most extreme version of that.
Right.
In order to get the like room sound, you need to go like a quarter mile away.
Exactly.
It's really hard to film in here because it just takes so long to get here. Now we made Kyle's back.
Hose me down. Did you say there were waters in this vicinity?
Yeah, we got some water bottles here.
Sure the air's still on in here? Or?
I can turn it on.
Keeps you in shape being a Carillon player.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have to climb a mountain to just get to your instrument. All right. Are we good?
Yep. Go.
Good and rolling? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Joey Brink.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
So yeah, this is the Carillon at Rockefeller Chapel at the University of Chicago. This is the second biggest Carillon in the world out of about 600. So we've got a massive instrument here with 72 bells, 100 tons of bronze. Each of these keys plays a bell. It looks like a piano keyboard. It's a keyboard instrument, but rather than play with fingers, we play with our fists.
Yeah.
And there's with one bell for each key. If I move a key with my fist here, I'm physically moving a wire, and that wire goes up to a clapper that moves to strike a bell. I can play that bell just by hitting the key with my fist like that. And because everything here is mechanical, I kind of complete control over the sound. So I can play really softly by just gently tapping the key, or I can play really loud by hitting it harder.
Yeah. And the whole neighborhood is hearing you right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah. And so we play with two fists. We also play with feet. And there's a pedal board down here.
And I just figured, I didn't want to look into it because I wanted to learn on camera. But I just figured that you couldn't really play this and like harmonize and do chords. I would figure that you could only play like one note at a time.
I can easily play two notes, just like that. I can also open up my hand and play a chord with just one hand. So I could play four notes at once. I could play whole clusters.
Yeah.
And if I add my feet can each play a bell. So I can play a whole chord.
You said there's 72 bells.
Yeah.
And each one of those is one of those bells. And so you said 6 octaves.
Yeah, right.
And these down here are just another way to hit the same notes. Because if I'm hitting, if I'm moving my foot here.
Yeah. So all the bells are playable from manual, except for the biggest one, which is only in the low pedal. If I play that low bell, there's no actual manual key.
Yeah.
But every other bell, the second biggest bell, is right here. As we go up the pedal board, we're duplicating the lower 2 octaves of the instrument. Yeah. So my hands are usually in the upper couple of octaves.
Yeah.
And then my feet are playing the lowest octave. Yeah. The lower bells here are much heavier. The bells are bigger, and so the keys are heavier to play. It takes a lot more power to move these low bells with my fists, which is why I play them with my feet. My feet have more power.
And then do you stand up on it a little bit for it, or is it possible for if you really hit this to break the bell?
You won't break a bell.
You won't? Okay.
We sometimes will break the mechanism. A wire will break. The bells are going to be okay. Yeah, yeah. We hit this thing pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're playing like...
We're playing with fists traditionally, but we do play with fingers also. And that's more of a contemporary technique, or even in the low ones. But if I want to play really softly, maybe I'll play with fingers.
It's so interesting too that you're playing, like you're hitting it way down here.
As Carilloners, we learn how to prepare notes, meaning take the keys most of the way down before we strike them. This gives us more control. The key fall here is pretty large. For me to start playing the note at the top of the key, I can play it loud.
Yeah.
But if I want to play it soft, I really have to get low and then play. So if I'm playing this repeated gesture, I can play it really quietly by keeping those keys low.
Am I good to play something on it?
Go for it, yeah.
I'm so used to doing this.
Yeah. So try to take your hands into fists.
Like this?
Yep. And then if you want to play a chord, open up into a claw. So you get one note with a thumb and one note with your other 4 fingers.
Okay. So if I'm playing a C,
a C chord like that. Yeah. And rather than hold the notes down, you want to get off. You can come back
because
to
it's
prepared
against
position.
the bell.
Right. You don't want to hold the hammer against the bell.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm so used to, of course, with the keyboard, you want the note to stay, you hold it down.
Exactly.
But obviously here, you don't want that.
Yeah. If I hold a note down, and this wire is adjusted a little bit tighter, you can hear it crunch.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to do that.
And that's probably not good for the bell, too.
Exactly, yeah.
That does certainly sound like you do have to compose specifically for this instrument because some of it's like you said, if you hit a low note, you better know that you want it to be there for the next 40 seconds.
Exactly, yeah.
So you have to ride around that.
Yeah.
And I see you're using your pinky?
Yeah, we strike the key with our pinkies. So with closed fist, but it's the pinky that really strikes. That's how we get the most control.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do these do? We have a few buttons up here.
Yeah, so these buttons actually don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
When the instrument was built, it was the largest Carillon ever built by a very large margin. And the bell founders thought we might need some electrical assistance for the biggest bells because they're so heavy to play.
Yeah.
However, to my knowledge, they were never installed. The buttons are here.
So
but
these
the
have
mechanism,
never been used.
Yeah, which is good because Carillons should only be mechanical. Yeah.
You don't come up here and let's practice that. You need.
Yeah, right. We have to practice on separate instruments. So we've got practice Carillons in the basement of the building that play electronic sounds. And they look like this. They're Carillon keyboards, but they just play in the room that we're practicing in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are so necessary. To practice, to learn, to teach, to compose.
Because when can you even play it? Like, when do you play this?
Yeah, twice a day at noon and 5 for an hour each time.
Noon and 5 for an hour.
But every time we play, it's a performance. Everybody can hear it.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be making a lot of mistakes or trying things out for the first time if we can help it.
So you need the practice one. I was practicing at home because there was 2 songs I would love to have played on this. And I was trying to play the organ like this that I have to try to get muscle memory. But this, now being here, this is so much different. I don't feel confident at all. That's a great thing to say right before playing it. And yes, I do want to play it.
Okay, you
very
should,
badly.
You should sit here.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you where middle C is. So it's not the middle of the keyboard, but it's actually this one.
This one's middle C.
That's your middle C. Yeah. Yep.
Usually, if I'm looking at a keyboard, it's like I just go to this one, go one to the left. But now with it like protruding like these hammers, it's
harder to tell. Yeah.
Also, from back here, especially when you're playing really, really loudly, there's so much just clank of the machinery as well.
Yeah.
It's like for us, like almost as loud as the bells.
Yeah, that's something that I tune out entirely. I don't notice it at all.
Yeah,
because outside, when you're listening to the Carillon, you only hear the bells.
Yeah, of course you don't hear any of this.
Right.
I'm just play a chord. I'm just play like a C chord.
Nice.
All right. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
People would be very, very mad at me if we didn't play For Whom the Bell Tolls. I'll show you the bass line. It's just 2 notes.
Sure. Okay.
Has anyone ever played Metallica on this?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Not the first time.
I've got Enter Sandman in my repertoire.
Oh, nice. Let me. This is so confusing. Hold on. I can play it on a bass guitar great.
Yeah.
I promise. I swear. I've played instruments before.
Things on bells often sound a little bit different than what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Bells have minor third overtones.
Yeah, they.
When you play a bell, you're hearing a whole minor chord in that bell. Or a whole diminished chord, actually.
Yeah.
Because of the minor third overtones.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Nice. That's awesome.
I like it.
Wow. Most metal cover of that song.
100 tons of bronze.
Yeah, 100 tons of bronze.
Yeah.
So when were these first built? When were these invented?
Carillons go back about 500 years to the year 1510 is when we consider the first Carillon to be built. And the evolution of the Carillon really parallels the evolution of the clock. The clocks were originally signaling bells rather than clock faces.
Really?
And so as clocks became more elaborate, then there were more bells in towers, and you started to have bells announcing the hour strike, playing
That's
a melody
fascinating.
before the hour strike to get people's attention. Because if you just hear the hour strike, maybe you missed the first couple, you don't know what time it is. But if you hear a melody signal that the hour, and then you hear the hour strike, then you know what time it is. And as cities grew and the towers started to compete with each other, you'd get bigger bells, better bells, more bells, better players, and it became a kind of a competition between cities who could play more on their carillon, on their instrument.
Wow.
So 1510 was the first year where there was a keyboard connected to the bells. And it wasn't until the 20th century that carillons were really concert instruments. Before that, they were really signaling mechanisms. And then in the early 20th century in Belgium, which is where the carillon originated, people started to play more musically and play actual concerts with actual music. So all of our music written for the instrument is only from the 20th century and 21st century.
How did you find the...
I started playing the carillon in college at Yale University. I toured the campus as a high school student. The tour guide pointed out the Carillon Tower and said, there's people up there that play bells. And for some reason that fascinated me, and I just needed to get up there and do it. And it was a hobby for a long time. I was an engineering student and then a grad student, but I eventually left that engineering career behind to just play the carillon.
What's the most requested piece you get?
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
Yeah. And Game of Thrones.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pull those out if you want.
Yeah, I'll serenade you while you're getting it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Harry Potter.
That's one of the coolest things that's ever been on this channel. That is exactly the type of music that this, I think, is.
Yeah, it works really well.
Wow.
Gothic cathedral.
Man.
The other most commonly requested song is Game of Thrones.
I'm very surprised that you're able to do those quick movements through the keys. Are these called keys?
Yeah, we call them keys.
Keys?
Or batons, yeah. Yeah, we like to roll chords, just like that.
Yeah.
From the bottom to the top. Usually, 2 notes in each hand. Sometimes more. It's kind of tricky, yeah.
Yeah,
It's easier to go up than to go down. The trick is to keep the notes really well prepared, really low.
Yeah.
So that you're only tapping them a little bit.
It's also very strange to